Right, Gilly, we've got Ricky as your abled assistant. We've got Josh and Izzy from West Junior Cricket Club here in Brisbane. Josh, you're 10, Izzy's 11. Why should they go into wicket-keeping?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's an easy answer. Wicket-keeping, it is a focal point of any time, any fielding team being out in the middle. You've just got to be involved in every single delivery. You can't sort of bowl and over and then go down to fine leg and just take a little nap for a while. Every single delivery you possibly could be in the game. And I guess the other thing that I loved about wicket-keeping was being able to create the energy for the team out in the middle. Now, Ricky was my captain for the predominant amount of my Test career. He had enough on his mind tactically. You know the drill. You're trying to think about the next bowling change or the field position. The last thing he needed to worry about was trying to energise the team and get everyone up and bubbling and focused on the job at hand. So that I feel it falls to the wicketkeeper. That's their responsibility. They don't need to be vocal necessarily, but certainly energetic. So running up to the stumps, being involved, and just showing the rest of the team that you've just got to be switched on and ready to go as soon as that chance comes. So for me, it means you're involved in every single delivery. You're not bored. There's no time off, but gee, it's a great deal of fun. So that's why I would say anyone should become a wicketkeeper.
OK, then 10 and 11-year-olds, how would you start?
Starting off basic. For me, there's a lot of different theories around about wicket-keeping. I know I'm mindful of the sort of theory in the UK, and the textbooks in the UK is a bit different to what we were taught in Australia, differing conditions, and that's what cricket's all about, is adapting to the conditions. But really, I think it just comes down to an individual working out what the best technique for them is and what's going to be most effective. And it comes down really to a really solid base of footwork. And if the ball's moving, you've got to be able to get to that ball. So that's where the footwork comes into it. You've got to be able to access the ball, trying to get your eyes and your head in line with the ball so you can best judge what it's doing. And then, obviously, some glove work. But I'm going to get the kids... I'm going to start off with Josh. If you want to come in over here, I've just set up a couple of stumps here. I'll get you to start in the middle and just give us that ball, Josh. A very basic footwork drill. So what we're going to be doing, looking for you to start down in a nice low base position. You've got to be strong, and then moving from side to side. So it's going to be a little skip across, take the ball, come back and throw it back to me. A very basic drill that can be done. That's it. Nice work. Throw it back to the middle there, and then back the other way. So it's just getting in. So what we want to see, Josh, is down low, and rather than turning and running, we want to be front onto the ball so the eyes are nice and straight, and we're skipping across like that, nice and strong. So down low, good, down low there, right, and then the other way. Excellent, mate. Right, one more, and that's looking good, mate. Swap over with Izzy, if you jump in there, Iz. Again, very simple drill, very basic, but it gives a good foundation. Okay, nice work. Right over the other. Excellent. And sorry, just quickly, Izzy. In Australia, we would talk about trying to move so that you're taking the ball on the inside hip, so that if the ball's then edged, you've already covered that ground to go for that catch. It differs a bit in England. I think they talk more about either front on or even setting up with an angle. As I say, it's open to interpretation. You've got to work out what your favoured technique is. Okay, Izzy, so down nice and low there. Excellent. Other way. Oh, no worries. Here we go. We've got another ball here. One more is. Well done, well done. So that's a very basic starting drill that any young wicketkeeper can use as they get introduced to the technique and trying to get that foundation. It's amazing. It's great. We've got Ricky Ponting here. I'm just going to step in here now. It's amazing how those basic drills can be incorporated at the elite level as well. I was very lucky. Punter, if you want to go out there, just grab these gloves. I had one of the best hitters of the cricket ball, I think certainly in Australian cricket history, in the form of Ricky Ponting. And Vaughan, he used a very simple drill to warm me up on game day. Obviously, got the gloves on, got the hard ball, but for me, whether it was in practice or on the morning of a match to warm up, this is a very simple drill that I used to do with him. Get the ball, and that's it. Just trying to stay down low.
What you're looking to achieve here?
What I'm looking for is to get my technique right and a bit of rhythm into my keeping. So the main thing, it's footwork, getting warmed up, getting your feet moving.
I'm just noticing there, like batting, you've got a little trigger there, haven't you?
Yep.
Just talk us through that.
I get down, get set, so you're a bit broader than shoulder width apart. not going down into the full squat here, because it's more trying to create a realistic match-like situation when the ball's coming towards you after it's gone past the bat. So it's here, trigger, and then just ready to go, and really looking for strength in your legs. You want to be nice and low. You don't want to be up too high and then have to go down for a catch. So it's getting that base, firm base, and just watching that ball right. Skip back, get a bit of rhythm, then the other way. Whoa, that's gone a bit wide.
Steady on, Rick.
Maybe in another time.
Just inside.
Another year I might have got that, but there you go, he's stretching me out. And the thing about that one there is I'm ideally looking to take the ball here, but if it's too wide, you've just got to go with it. There's no use trying to turn it around and make it look like it was the perfect technique.
How important are the hips? I mean, you've taught the thighs, the legs, the alignment, the trigger. What about the hips?
Probably much more important in the UK, in England, where the ball's tailing around once it passes the bat. You've got to be flexible and able to go with it. In Australia, it's a bit more consistent, the flight of the ball, and it's probably a bit more, not easier, but there's, as I say, consistency in getting into a good position. So it's just moving, take the ball, and you really do need someone who knows how to hit the ball and making sure they don't hit the ball too hard. You don't want to be lunging all the time, just getting a nice, good rhythm. So,
Gilly, Izzy's just got you a question here. What
age did you start wicket keeping?
Izzy, I was going to be the fastest bowler in the world for a little while there. And then I went shopping with Mum and Dad, saw a set of wicket-keeping gloves when I was about 8 years old, and Santa Claus saw that I saw them, and they turned up under the tree that year, and that was me done. I was a wicket-keeper from then on. So I was about 8 years of age. So as long as I've been playing cricket, it's been the position that I've wanted to have.
I mean, Gilly, most wicket keepers, Rick, would you agree with it? They're a bit mad, aren't they? You are. You're a mad breed.
We're not as mad as the spinners, but I reckon we're pretty close behind.
Yeah, but you don't mind, you're quite normal in comparison to some wicket keepers that I've played with. Yeah. Is it important that you've got that mentality that you're not crazy, but you've got a load of energy? Clearly, you've got to work on a lot of technique, but is there a certain mentality required to be behind the stumps?
Well, I think so. I think that the mindset, the biggest challenge, and we've already seen it in this Test match with Tim Payne having so much focus on him coming into this match, and then he had that one chance, a really difficult chance on day one. The greatest qualities are how you rebound from that and how you just push that away from your mind. It doesn't matter how much you harp on about that. That ball's gone. You're never getting that back. The only important delivery in your life as a wicketkeeper is the next one. And you've just got to be focused. Same as batting. You've just got to be focused. So it does take a strong frame of mind. You've got to be mentally strong and tough because you are going to miss some. It's how you rebound from that.
Ricky, what made him so good?
Oh, his work ethic around his wicket-keeping is what made him so good. I mean, there's a lot spoken about Gilly and his batting, and therefore sometimes I think his wicket-keeping ability's overlooked, but the time that I spent with Gilly, he didn't care about his batting or his batting prep at all. All he was ever concerned about was his keeping preparation, getting that right, because, as you say then, it's just that one chance that might pop up through the course of a Test match. Not one day or one session, but it's one chance popping up over 5 days that he had to be prepared to actually make a half chance. I think the other thing about Gilly, when you look at him, he's actually quite big for a keeper. He's quite tall. A lot of keepers aren't quite that tall, so his vertical movement was incredible. I mean, he could take diving catches in front of second slip and therefore a long way down the leg side as well. But the thing that we always say about keepers is if they're not being noticed, that's a great thing. But what Gilly was actually noticed the other way, I thought, a lot through his career, because he did the spectacular things, but he actually made them look really easy. Keeping to Warne for most of his career was never going to be easy. I don't remember too many mistakes at all through Gilly's career.
Well, keeping to Warne was definitely the highlight of my cricketing career. You know, runs, hundreds, victories, whatever the case. McGrath and Warne, to have the best seat in the house, keeping to those guys. I feel like Ian Healy and I sort of stole anyone else in the world's opportunity because we were so blessed to do that. So keeping to a spinner, or Shane Warne if it was. Josh, I'm going to start again with you here, mate. If you can come down behind the stumps here, I'll just quickly talk about some technique stuff and how you set up keeping to a spinner. What we want to do, we're going to pretend the ball's coming from this way. We need to be down in a full crouch position, and the idea there, I think, is basically you want to be seeing the ball land and then rising up with it. You don't want to come up too high because most stumpings are missed when you're up too high and the ball goes a little bit lower. So we want to be down nice and low, and then when the ball bounces, you come up, nice soft hands and giving there, but again, it's footwork. It's not the length of footwork that we had with the quick bowling, but if the ball goes down the leg side, we're up and a strong movement just that way. So I'll just demonstrate. Sorry, Josh, if you just wait there, I'll just get Ricky to throw a couple down here and take the ball. And I think, Warne, that's really important in training. We want to make sure we take the ball and just take it back to the stump because it just creates nice habits. Just gets a bit of rhythm and gets you into good habits for a match. So it's just taking like that. So, Josh, if you would want to jump in there.
Do you want to do it more?
No, you do that. I can have a look from here, mate. So nice and low. That's it. And we don't want to go backwards. You want to just stay working. I think the old school theory was you work, certainly in Australia, it was you work around in a semicircle so that you can always access the stumps. I don't really subscribe to that. I think you've just got to get yourself into a nice position to get the ball first, then think about going back to the stump. But you don't want to go backwards. Nice catch.
Always a natural.
Look good. So make sure you get down nice and low, starting right down, wait for the ball to bounce. Good work. Okay, swap over there, Izzy. You jump in there too. And maybe you pretend the left-hander's batting, so you go over this side here.
Gilly, I hear soft hands mentioned all the time.
Yeah.
You know, just to explain that, how much tension do you need in your hands?
You just need to be relaxed. I think you need... Just chuck us a tennis ball there, punt. The thing about one of the great ways to work out or to work on soft hands, you probably watch a bit of TV, do you? Yep. I'm sure you're watching the cricket all the time. Like all the kids at home in the UK are watching the Ashes at the moment. But if you're even sitting watching TV, you can sit there, Vaughan, with a tennis ball, looking out there to the TV, just flicking the ball back like that. And you're not looking at the ball, so you're using your peripheral vision and being aware of what's out there, and just flick it around. And the idea is that hand has to be really relaxed for that ball to go in, because it's not landing right in the middle every time. It might hit me here, but if I'm relaxed and I ease it in, you feel the ball, you make an adjustment and you get it. Tim Payne, again, this nick off James Vince, Nathan Lyon, his hands were a little bit tense and weren't really relaxed and giving up with the ball. So the idea, if the ball doesn't hit you right in the middle, which it didn't for Tim Payne, if that hits him right in the middle of the gloves, he pouches that, and that's a great catch. It was a big edge, and it hit him up high in the gloves. But if your hands are rigid, that ball's going to fly off. If your hands are soft and going with it, there's a better chance, not always, a better chance you'll wrestle it in. And
or
then
the ball might balloon in the air?
Could go straight up, slip could get it or anything. So just something simple like that. It's pretty basic, but and then back the other way. And so it's just all about feel. So, punter, if you want to get Izzy to do a couple of... Nice work. So still trying to stay forward. Don't have your weight on the back. Nice. That's good work. And one more punt. And I'll just very quickly, I'll run around here and grab something something Ricky Ponting used for me as well in warm-up. So again, a basic drill that I would then extend into my...
Ricky, I get the feeling you were Gilly's butler.
Yeah, that's about it, mate. That's all I did. Don't worry about my batting warm-ups on any day. I was just looking after the
Did he make you a cup of tea as well?
It was all about taking his mind off batting. You know, he needed to relax and focus on something else. So same, it's a basic drill, but just upping the intensity a little bit. Would probably do this with some inner gloves on, not my full keeping gloves, because I like to get a feel of the ball. But getting down here, well, I'm not going for that one. Where's that other tennis ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole same sort of basic thing, staying low, take it into there. And this is just up the intensity a little bit from what the basic drill was for the kids. And I would try to do this.
Gilly, how much would you do on a morning of a test match?
Mate, well, as you get older, you train smarter. When I was younger and first into the team, volume was everything, and you work hard, and probably as much as anything, showing everyone that you're working hard so that they knew that. But you hundreds of balls early in your career, but this, I worked out, became a feel thing. So if I was doing this and it felt good right from the start, I'd just do about 10, maybe 15 of each side, get him to shoot one down the leg side. And as I said, footwork, it's only small steps, but you've got to be moving. But Warne, in answer to that question, probably 10, 15 minutes probably on game day, just getting moving of all these little drills.
Very good there, Rick. Josh and Izzy, 10 and 11 years old. If you could just give us 3 pieces of advice for what wicket keeping really is and how you can improve and what you require, what would it be?
I would say a better level of fitness that I've got at the moment, because I'm absolutely exhausted. No, in all seriousness, I think, as I said, the foundation is your footwork. So being strong and staying low. If you're practicing, a good wicket-keeping coach will say, stay low, stay low. So you can do a lot of drills where you're just skipping back and forward. It's all leg strength, so staying low. And then nice soft hands. Relax those hands. Get someone throwing the ball and just cushioning the ball in. Third bit of advice, have fun. Always love it. You're going to do a lot more time training in cricket than you do playing, particularly in batting and even wicket-keeping. Make sure you're enjoying it and have fun.
Well, Gilly, that's brilliant. Thanks to the butler.
Thank you.
Magnificent job. Josh and Izzy, I hope you've learnt something. I think we all want to be wicket keepers. Well, potentially not me, because I've got hands like feet.